help you God?
So help me God. Today, I say to you that the challenges we face are real. They are serious, and they are many. From the day I took office, I knew that solving this crisis would not be easy.
We have always been, and we, I believe, continue to be, a nation of cowards.
If this is the change we all can believe in, America's best days are behind her.
This is not a stimulus bill, this is a spending bill. What do you think a stimulus is? That's the whole point. It's not.
And I deeply apologize to President Obama and to the American people.
Rarely in history has our country faced economic problems as devastating as this crisis. Guantanamo will be closed no later than 1 year from now.
The problem that we have with closing it, there's no place else to put them.
Sure, I'd take them. I mean, they're no more dangerous in a prison in my district than they are in Guantanamo.
It just became clear to me that it would be very difficult day in and day out to serve in this cabinet, or any cabinet for that matter.
So let me say this as plainly as I can. Our combat mission in Iraq will end.
We need to sober up here and take a look at what we're doing.
We will lift the ban on federal funding for promising embryonic stem cell research. During the campaign, I said that we must scour this budget.
$1.7 million for pig odor research.
Line by line, eliminating what we don't need.
$2 million for the promotion of astronomy.
Or what doesn't work.
$1.9 million for the Pleasure Beach Water Taxi Service Project.
And improving the things that do. I consider this a mistake on my part.
If we do everything right, there's still a 30% chance we're going to get it wrong.
To make sure that we're not screwing up again.
And there you have it, the good, the bad, and ugly, and that is our headline this Tuesday night, 50 days and counting. Now, we have complete coverage tonight, including a special report from Ainsley Earhart on the president's broken promises, with analysis from Karl Rove, plus the Great American Panel, your comments from our blog, and the debut of our Tuesday night text voting series. So please stay tuned for all of that. But joining us first tonight is former Oklahoma Republican Congressman, good friend of mine, J.C. Watts. Congressman Watts, welcome home.
Mr.
It's
Hannity,
been far too long.
you.
Welcome back to Fox News. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me back.
All right, well, let's start with the obvious here. We've got more debt. We have no confidence in the markets. We have an administration that has had one bad nominee after another. Another guy bows out earlier today. And so we're 50 days into this. You were to grade Barack Obama so far in his administration. What would you give him?
Well, Sean, in football, you have bad quarters and you have a chance to come back. But the longer the momentum builds against you, the tougher it is to come back. I don't know if you can take any 50 days in anybody's presidency and say that it's going to be easy, that it's not going to be challenging. But I think President Obama has to be careful that he doesn't lose his moral authority, which he came into office having great moral authority on spending, and then you pass an omnibus bill that has, you know, 8,500 to 9,000 earmarks in it, and you know, you get started, and the first thing out of the box is abortion and the overturning of stem cells, and you know, the just unendless spending and so forth. I think that hurts his moral authority, but again, there's time to come back, but when you do those things, you create a lack of confidence and you create uncertainty in the marketplace, and those who have the money to invest, those who want to spend, they don't, and that further drives, I think, you know, economic numbers and employment numbers in the wrong direction.
All right, but we have a sinking Dow. Clearly, Wall Street has no confidence in the Obama plan, no confidence in tax cheat Tim Geithner here. You're a fiscal conservative. I'm a fiscal conservative. Trillions of dollars in spending, trillions of dollars in debt. Now, I don't see any way that this can work unless it's stopped, because socialism has never worked. Do you see how this possibly, in the long run, can work, especially what we're going to pass on to our kids and grandkids?
Well, I personally don't, but as George W. Bush said, Sean, back in 2004, he said, elections have consequences. And I think, you know, the election was had, and I think we're going in the direction that, you know, if I was the president, I wouldn't be taking us in that direction, because I do believe, I personally believe that, you know, tax relief is better than tax decreases or better than tax increases. I believe that, you know, Guantanamo Bay should have stayed open. I do believe that we do need to have a check in our spending levels. I do think it's you know, out of control, and in my opinion, again, I think those things continue to work against you, and it builds a momentum that people's confidence level is just in the tank, and it becomes difficult to recover.
I think one of his biggest mistakes, I mean a really big mistake, if we go back and compare his campaign, it was about hope and optimism and change, and America could do better. This rhetoric has now evolved into a daily fear-mongering, pessimism, disaster, crisis, we may never recover, always negative, and it's always done, J.C., to advance an agenda. And I think, if anything, that Barack Obama's doubled down on, this negative talk is hurting the country. Do you agree with that?
Well, Sean, if you recall in 2000 when Bush Cheney took over, you know, the opposition was saying some of the same things, that the Bush-Cheney team was talking down the economy and so forth and so on. I think majorities tend to overreach. I think Republicans, when we were in the majority, we overreached on some things. I think, you know, we spent a lot of money and did a lot of things in the name of, or under the umbrella of, Homeland Security or national security, and things went unchecked and no oversight. I think Democrats are making some of the same mistakes. I think with all the spending going unchecked and not any oversight, I think they're overreaching in some respects, or overreaching in many respects, and I think you're doing it in the name of a bad economy or a crisis, and once you start to peel that onion, you see that at the end of the day, it's going to be not very good for the economy, and not very good for our future.
Congressman, welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while, and next time you're here, I'll pressure if you're running for governor or president. Thank you for being with us.
Good deal.
All right, and thank you, Congressman. Still lots more to come tonight on this special Day 50 edition of the show. And coming up, President Obama promised you the world on the campaign trail. Well, now it's time to deliver. So is he following through? Ainsley Earhart and Karl Rove will tell us next. And then we start a brand new feature on tonight's show. It is our Tuesday night text vote. Now, we want to know what you think has been the biggest story of the first 50 days. All you have to do is text your vote to 36288. Now, text H1 for the Dow Jones dropping to a 12-year low, H2 for the remarkable amount of government spending, H3 for the White House targeting Rush Limbaugh, H4 for all the tax problems of the president's nominees, and we're going to reveal the live results coming up at the end of tonight's show, and we'll also read some of your comments about the first 50 days that you posted on our Great American blog, so we hope you keep them coming. And much more to come tonight as we continue right here on Hannity. Glad you're with us.